What's My Factor is an intermediate fourth grade game. The What's My Factor game is an algebraic thinking game that has learners find all the factor pairs for a whole number in the range of 1 to 100 and find the multiples of those numbers. The purpose of this game is for learners to become more familiar with factors. This game will require learners to be verbal. Thus, it will help provide feedback to both the learners and the teacher with regards to learners' current knowledge, understanding, and misconception of factors. I chose this name because it informs the players, in this case, the learners, what exactly will be required of them in the game. The name on its own prompts learners to look back into their prior knowledge on what they might know about factors, as well as other mathematical concepts that they might need to consider, which are closely associated with factors. Whilst learners might struggle with factors, this game will enable them to exercise 1. Getting familiar with using the tree method to find factors. 2. Practice their multiplication table, thus speeding up multiplication process. And 3. Increase mathematical vocabulary. What's My Factor game is suitable for intermediate phase learners because it has some math terms which help increase learners' vocabulary and understanding, which are a factor, a number that divides into another number, including itself. Proper factor, any factor other than 1 and itself. A prime number, a number that has only two factors, 1 and itself, and a composite number, a number with more than two factors. This game broadens the learner's knowledge and understanding that factorizing or finding multiples of a number relates with their knowledge of multiplication and division. It enables learners to classify numbers as either prime or composite. It also enables them to be strategic after a few plays, which they will be able to distinguish between numbers with many factors and numbers with few factors, and be able to play the game in order to reinforce mathematical terms related to it. The supplies that are provided in the box along with the instructions sheets include a What's My Factor game board, 2 times What's My Factor scoreboards, 2 times What's My Factor team sheets to which teams use to answer, bi-colored counters, as well as a multicolored die. To play this game, the learners will be 4 players with 2 players in a team, the yellow team and the orange team. The players can play for a total of 8 rounds with each member having 2 opportunities to roll a die. The rules are as follows. When covering multiples of a particular number, only proper factors can be covered. If you list multiples and when covering them, either your team or opponent has already covered it, this results in losing a point for that number. If a number has been covered, you cannot choose it. Team members are allowed to help each other, but the one who rolled the die and chose the number calculates. To start this game, Team Yellow will roll a die. If the die falls on the color red, the yellow team will choose any number on the board located on a red square. According to the color instruction, the yellow team will have to prime factorize that number. The team will then use the team sheets to work out, and if they do that successfully, they will be awarded 2 points. The orange team will then roll a die. If it falls on yellow, then the team has to choose a number on the board on a yellow square and cover it. Then list all the multiples on the sheet, cover them on the game board. For each multiple, the team will be awarded a point. Players will play for 8 rounds and calculate their scores to see the winner. The objective of this game is to cover as many numbers on the game board, thus proving that learners can successfully prime factorize numbers as well as find their multiples. The What's My Factor game helps learners gain mathematical skills such as communicating and expressing. When playing the game, learners are required to listen to their partner or discuss and explain how they would find factors as well as record the processes and results using a variety of methods. In this game, learners are required to understand and recall facts such as defining a prime number, proper factor, or a composite number, thus developing understanding and recalling. Learners will, from this game, be able to hone their multiplication and division concepts. Learners will be able to develop their multiplication and division skills and will eventually be able to solve complex problems or a factor game board with even larger numbers. That's What's My Factor game board.